everyone. Wanted to do this video today in reaction to Trump's tweet last night discussing a possible executive order to suspend immigration in the United States. I have gotten hundreds of emails and calls from last night to today, and I thought this would be the most efficient way of responding to your anxiety and your questions and your stress over this tweet that he did last night, and that's all over the news today. If anyone doesn't know me, my name is Andrea'S. I'm an immigration attorney in Los Angeles, California. I've been doing it for over 17 years, and I'm obviously heavily immersed in this industry and this world of immigration, huge supporter of immigrants and non-immigrants into the country, and understand the importance and the criticalness that the immigration community has in the United States. So first and foremost, let's take a deep breath. Nothing has happened yet. We don't have any idea of the parameters of what Trump is talking about. We don't understand yet exactly what he wants to do and who he's going to affect the most. There are rumors of 120-day suspension, but that 120-day suspension is just, like I said, a rumor. It's not something that we really know yet if it's going to take effect and for how long. A few points that we can talk about. There's a few things that might make you feel better, and there's a few things that might make you think a little bit about where is this really going to go, and is it really going to happen, and how is it going to affect you? First of all, if he does suspend immigration across the board, it's going to affect on an unbelievable level U.S. citizens. I mean, it's going to affect the loss of thousands, if not millions of dollars of filing fees to U.S. government due to applications that are submitted by immigrants and non-immigrants. And on top of that, jobs are going to be lost by the thousands. There's thousands and thousands of individuals in our consulates abroad and on USCIS offices in the United States that will lose their jobs. If we stop the system, it's a ripple effect to everyone that works in the system. So if we stop the system and we suspend it, it's not going to just hurt the visa holders or the immigrant applicants. It's going to hurt the U.S. citizens. They're going to lose more jobs. They're going to lose more revenue. Not a good thing, really, in the big scheme of things, and doesn't really make sense at all. So that's one thing to keep in mind. The other thing is that a lot of talk that he's saying, a lot of the news media is saying right now is that, due to our high levels of unemployment, we need to preserve those jobs for U.S. citizens after this is over or right now. But they don't take into account that a lot of the jobs that these non-immigrants and immigrants are holding are jobs that are not being able to be filled by U.S. citizens, even before this happened. So we have this huge void of intellectual capital that we need in this country, and these people are the ones filling that void. That void is not going to go away because all of a sudden we have all these U.S. citizens unemployed, because all these U.S. citizens unemployed have to get back to work in the fields that they're able to work in, not fields that they weren't qualified to work in before. So we're talking about STEM jobs, science, technology, engineering, and math. These were areas that were far void of U.S. citizens to begin with, because we didn't have people coming out of our universities to be able to fill those positions. And those positions then were filled by non-immigrants and immigrants from other countries. Therefore, by suspending this, it's not helping the unemployed community. It's hurting the U.S. economy, and it's hurting U.S. businesses. So it doesn't even make sense to suspend H-1Bs or other types of work visas, because it's only going to hurt the economy in the long run. So that's something that we have to think about. Not only do we have to think about that to make us feel better that this might not happen or might not affect us, in the big scheme of things, but I think the executive branch needs to really focus on, where are you going with this? And how is this going to help at all with the unemployment in the United States? It's going to hurt it. And a lot of the jobs that, are on work visas in the US also are jobs that are not even affected by by this pandemic. They're jobs in health industries, they're jobs in industries that are booming right now and that need more employees. So obviously, if they need more employees and our unemployment rate is going up, then obviously those people that are unemployed are not able to fill the jobs that are booming and are in need of more employees. So it's counterintuitive, and it makes no sense at all. The only industry that I see that is going to maybe be affected is the entertainment industry. because there's a huge, I mean, the whole entertainment industry in the United States and pretty much worldwide is shut down right now. So there's a lot of people in the entertainment industry on visas. But what does that really mean too? Let's look at the reality of that situation. Well, a lot of those entertainers are extraordinary individuals. You can't replace them with just anybody. So it's not like I'm taking unemployment and I can go work as some, musician or some performer that's known internationally as that person. So that's impossible. Also, if you look at a lot of the shows around the country and around the world that are on visas, those people, a lot of them are unique. I mean, they have to be held, those positions, those entertaining positions, by those particular individuals. It's not like you can plop in some random person to take that position. So once again, how is that going to help our unemployment community? By suspending the entertainment visas that are out there for people trying to come here to entertain and to work in the industries. It's not going to help. It just doesn't make sense on any level. So that is another reason why I don't understand where he's going with this. We have to really sit back and take a deep breath and see where he goes. If he does go there, the president, and he does do an executive order to shut everything down, then it's really unbelievable, and it's aggravating, and it's frustrating, and it's really ignorant to what the reality of our immigrant and non-immigrant world is in the United States and across the world, really, as a matter of fact, because we're going to now lose a lot of capital, intellectual capital. We're going to lose a lot of capital, period, and then we're going to lose more jobs for US citizens. So across the board, it makes absolutely no sense. I don't see any benefit to it whatsoever. The only place that it would probably benefit is in jobs that are not necessarily held by non-immigrant and immigrant workers. So I asked President Trump, and I tell you that we need to sit back and we need to think about this before he does anything. He needs to think about the consequences it's going to cause to not only US citizens and their jobs, but to the US economy, to the future of the US, because once you let a lot of these people go or you don't give them the visas, they're going to look elsewhere. So that, what does that mean for the US? We're going to lose all that intellectual capital. If we don't allow students coming out of our universities to take jobs in the United States and give them visas, where does that go? You go to Princeton, you go to Yale, you go to a top university, you learn a trade or you learn an area that we're desperate for, and then we tell you you can't have a visa here, go home. So we educate them, we put them in our universities, we teach them everything we know, and then we send them back to their home country. Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make any sense in the big scheme of things. So I think that the president, along with anyone else who thinks that this is the right thing to do, I think we need to sit back and look at who we're really directing this at. Who are you really saying you don't want to be in this country? Who are you really trying to hurt? And who are you trying to help? Because it doesn't make sense to do this executive order. It makes sense only to do the opposite, to nurture this group of people, to help them get the visas that they need in order to help us in the future. It only helps to give them safe harbors that they can be in the United States for long periods of time while this is working itself out. Am I asking for money for these people necessarily? Not necessarily, but something of a safe harbor to protect these people in the meantime while we're waiting for this all to play out. And for all of you out in the outside the United States, sitting in foreign countries waiting for visa appointments, hang in there. Hang in there. It will happen. I believe that this is a temporary situation. I believe possibly this is a political ploy by the president right now to actually create a noise around something that doesn't even exist. It will pass and you will get your visas to come in this country. We cannot survive without these people. The economy and the fabric of the United States is made up of these nationals from other countries, helping us be stronger and smarter and more developed than anywhere in the world. So hang in there. I'm going to continue doing videos. I'm going to continue giving you updates on what's going on. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's probably the best way to get this information and be first one to hear about new videos coming out to describe what's going on, next steps, how should you deal with this, what news should you listen to, what news should you ignore. There's a lot of chatter out there that's not necessarily really good information. So please stay tuned. I'm going to continue doing these videos and I'll try my hardest to get out information as quick as possible on legitimate, reliable information to keep you posted on what next steps are during this crazy time. Please stay safe and stay calm and try your hardest to not listen to too much that's going on until we really get facts that we can rely on and the parameters of where this is going to go. Stay safe.